The school year draws to a close. What has been learned? What will stay in the memories of these children? What counts?
I learned how to be a critical thinker. I learned how to play off of my strengths instead of worry about my weaknesses. I learned about what I was good at and how to hone that and use it to become better at things.
I was going through a lot, but I was able to come here and have teachers, especially Deborah Meyer, be here to care for me and make sure, that as a student, I was able to take care of myself and to learn.
When you feel respected and when you respect someone, it's so much harder to not try and to just think that something is unimportant because it's important to someone that you respect.
Conjecture, viewpoint, connections, constantly making connections, constantly putting myself in other people's shoes, questioning things.
That's what this process is all about. It's about the community coming together to work towards something that we can all live with. And sometimes that democratic process is a little messy. Sometimes it's very close and people aren't all so happy with the decision, but they learn to live with it. That's how you work together as a community.
I think what we are facing in America today and around the world is not a crisis in education, but a crisis in faith and respect for democracy, which rests on having respect for the judgment of ordinary people.
Thank you all for joining us here today to celebrate this year's class of wonderful fifth graders.
The first time I slept over farm school, I hid under my bunk, and surprisingly, no one found me. I thought if I could make mistakes, everybody's going to laugh at me. I found out that everybody makes mistakes.
It's not just about the result, it's the process. Showing respect for each other's opinions, debating skillfully, trying to be persuasive, trying to listen to each other. It's that process of exploration, of commitment, of willingness to be a part of something.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We're getting ready for exhibitions.
My favorite theme this year was World of Work because I like doing interviews. The beginning of the year I made me think. I am smart and caring and weird.
It is good to think about your year so when you are grown up you can remember when you were in school.
My daughter comes home excited every day. She reports what happened during the day, the challenges in the classroom. Most importantly, she talks about her helping other children or other children helping her.
We're digging into China. And it always...
No matter how hard you work, no matter how fast you're running every day, it's not about how hard we're working, it's about what they get. It's really about what they learn. There's all those small pieces that you put into place, but those things are just tiny little building blocks. And then they put them together, and it takes time. It takes time for that to become something.
Oh, it's forming really fast. Oh, wait, pass it.
Mission Hill has learned that next year they will move to a new site and include pre-K classes. Race to the Top is bringing additional challenges.
The testing has gotten out of control. Right now, the issue that's hanging us up is this predictive test. It's an assessment that is going to be tied to teacher evaluation. Massachusetts has been awarded Race to the Top money, and so all of these things are now linked to state requirements.
When we roll into the fall, and it's time for predictives, our school is not going to administer them. When we do not do this, then I will be written up. My job is on the line. And just as a school community, we just have to be prepared for that. We have to have our stuff together. What I want us to do today is meet in age pair teams to write out 2 things.
There are those more standardized assessments that are helpful, but in general for me, those aren't the assessments that help me guide a child through a school year.
They don't show you the full picture, and they don't show you that smile.
I don't want them to read and write and do science and math and social studies because some government structure says this is what they should know at this age. I want them to have the tools so that they can learn anything they want to learn.
Of my 22 kids next year, I have 10 IEPs. My goal is for each one of those kids to do the best that they can as individuals, the same as it is for every other one of my kids.
Right.
And if you're an outside observer saying a standardized test is a standardized test and I don't care about the individual, then my response is, I don't care about your interpretation. I only care about my students doing the best that they can do as individuals. And if there's a consequence, and that price is that our principal is put at risk, then I'm going right down that road with her. We have to do certain things we don't want to do, but you know what, that's life, and I can live with that, that's okay. But we don't have to change the way we believe in what we do, and we don't have to change what we give our kids.
The freedom of teachers to decide, make decisions about their classrooms and their lives is essential for a democratic school.
When I hear the phrase, a great school, I wonder, what does that mean? At this school, great does not mean perfection. Great does not mean without flaws. In fact, the flaws are the beauty of all of this. It's the flaws that we learn from. And we absolutely take the time to learn from our mistakes. We don't try to cover them up. We don't try to erase them. We really try to unpack them. And so a lot of what you see here is not quiet and still. It's very active, it's engaging, it's human, it's celebrating the humanness in all of us and trying to build on human potential and not stifle it.
The year ends much as it began, with a retreat. A dedicated and empowered staff evaluates the past year and plans for the next one.
Are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts. They have their own thoughts. They have their own thoughts. You can house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in a place of tomorrow that you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You can strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. Strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you.
There you are. All right, amen. All right.
Your children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts. They have their own thoughts. They have their own thoughts. You can house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in a place of tomorrow that you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You can strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. Strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you.
The whole point of an education is to help you learn how to exercise judgment, and you can't do that if the expert adults in your school are not allowed to exercise theirs.
Isn't it time to develop the trust and meaningful supports that give all teachers the freedom to teach?